The distance formula is used to calculate the distance between 2 points in the coordinate plane. It's especially useful when the points are not given to you on a graph or when they're very far apart. The distance formula can be derived from the Pythagorean theorem. We'll create a right triangle with hypotenuse AB. Then we'll substitute the length of A using the difference in the x-coordinates, x2 minus x1. And we'll substitute for the length of B the difference in the y-coordinates, y2 minus y1. We'll take the square root of both sides of the equation to isolate D. This yields the distance formula. In example 1, we'll use the distance formula to calculate the distance between the points 1, 4 and -2, 3. Substitute the x-coordinates and the y-coordinates into your formula, making sure that you subtract in the same order for both. Follow the order of operations as you evaluate, subtracting inside each group of parentheses first, and then applying exponents. Rounding to the nearest hundredth, our answer is 3.16. For number 3, the points are shown on a graph. We'll identify the coordinates and substitute them into the distance formula. Then subtract inside each set of parentheses and square each result. Simplify and round to the nearest tenth. When the points are given on a graph and the distance between them isn't too far, it's often easier to just use the Pythagorean theorem. Create a right triangle using the grid lines of the graph. C will represent the distance between the 2 points. The work here is very similar to that of the distance formula, but because we can count the length of each side, the subtraction step is not necessary, so some students find this to be simpler. I'll demonstrate this example using the Pythagorean theorem, creating a right triangle on the grid lines and allowing the distance between the 2 points to be represented by C. Count the length of each side and substitute into the Pythagorean theorem. Take the square root to solve for the distance. And that's distance formula and Pythagorean theorem.